Welcome to this edition of Winter Work on the Boat. Today I'm inside Jennifer B and I'm working on removing the dash panels that got damaged over the last season. So we're going to have to remove a couple pieces of trim before we can do that. So let's show you what we got going on here. Okay, so here's the front dash of Jennifer B. What we have going on here is the seam on the outside of the boat that kind of runs in here somewhere. That caulking failed and leaked and allowed water in here to damage these panels. So I got some damage there. I got a little bit of damage here and up here. So I have on order replacement panels from Back Cove to fix these. But these panels are glued on by some silicone, and I have to remove this trim work around here. So I've already gotten a couple of these bungs here drilled out, 3 bungs there, and it looks like I have another 3 here. This piece across the top does not have any bung. Back Cove service told me that these are actually glued down. So that does look like it's the case. So this piece of trim is loose here. It's fixed up here. I think there's some glue under here. But this doesn't just pop up because of the way the angle of the this countertop here actually locks this wood in place. So what I'm going to try to do without breaking these pieces is continue to drill out these bungs. Hopefully this one will come off more easily, and then I can get a flat blade under here and or use some debonding solution to break the bonds of the hopefully silicone that's under here. So let's get to work. I use a stepped approach to drilling out the bung, starting with a smaller drill bit at first, typically a 1/8 inch drill bit. I'll start on the top bung, and I need to have it at a little bit of an angle because of the window. I'll drill through just enough so that I don't damage the underlying screw and have potential problems within. And then I'll switch it out to a larger drill bit. In this case, I used a 3/16. Come back, drill it a little bit more so that I can switch it out to the last drill bit, which in this case I used 15/64. And this was just small enough that I didn't damage any of the surrounding wood in that trim piece. This bung popped out and stuck onto the drill bit, but in the case that it sticks in there, you can take another tool like my pair of pliers, and you can zoom in here and see how you can easily pull that out without damaging the surrounding wood. These bungs were not glued in place as may be the case in some applications, but rather just press fit in and then a layer of varnish on top finish the bung. The next step would be to come along with the screwdriver and back out the 3 stainless steel screws holding on the trim piece, and these remove pretty easily. So this is a little bit loose there. I see it's loose up here, maybe. I do feel some resistance in there. Got a range of different prying tools here, and we'll just see what works with these spatulas or scrapers to see how we can gently work these in here to loosen this up. This angle here is getting locked in under this piece, so I may have to take off this entire piece here in order to get this out, but we're gonna keep trying and kind of see what happens. If I don't have to take this piece off, I'd rather not. When this is working itself loose up here at the top, it's getting stuck on this edge here, but may be able to get it. Maybe coming. All right. Aha. Perfection. Got it out. So now we can see what this profile looks like, which is pretty much what I expected. So we have the edge of the plywood, the veneer plywood here, and then this piece sits down and it has a rabbited edge here, which overlaps onto this piece here, and then this fits up in there. And I'm very happy that this is just, looks like it's just friction fit. This does not look like it was glued in here, which would have made things quite a bit more difficult. So let's see what's going on with this piece up top. And I'm gonna try to just gently pry up a little bit. Very gently try to see if I can work a blade under here without doing any damage to this trim piece. Now, if I really mess it up, I already know Back Cove can make a new piece for me, but I certainly don't want to have to do that. So I've been fiddling with these trim pieces for a few minutes, and where I am now is I've gotten this, I'm using this very thin spackle knife. It's much thinner than my scraping knife here, and I've been able to work this under here so that this adhesive at the top here is cut. But I still can't remove this piece off, so I'm going to have to go ahead and try to get this piece of trim off. So what I've been working on so far is I've been able to get the spackle knife under the edge here and cut the adhesive back into the corner, and then I'm using this scraping blade as a wedge to hold that up, and then I'm going to try to go along and hammer this in to cut the adhesive, and then move this wedge across to hold that up. And then if I get enough room, I'm going to put in this wedge here, but this is quite a bit thicker and I don't want to break this piece of wood here. So we'll move along and see how it works. Success. So what you saw me just do with the time lapse, of course, was wedge in with the putty knife and then hold the edge up with this wedge, and in between putting a little bit of spray of the debond in there to loosen this up. And this stuff I think really helped. So now we can take this off, and we can see why I was having a hard time. That this piece is actually glued together, so that wasn't going to come off. So this is actually one piece, and we can see that there's some silicone adhesive material on the bottom here. And I'm going to put this aside, and let's look at what we have going on up here. So we can see, you know, that this is this material is getting nice and soft. This is going to come off easily, and now we can get into under these panels and start to loosen these up. I've already done that a little bit on this side, kind of using the same approach, sliding in under here, put a little bit of marine debond under there. So we're going to slowly peel this up and see how we can get under there.